Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday and welcome to In Your Circle, where we bring on one person who's doing amazing things and is connected in the reptile, exotic pet, whatever you want to call it, industry, and we get to know them better. And today we'll be visiting with Kate of Heart of the Python. But before we bring her out, we have to give a few shout outs. Our first shout out is to Husbandry Pro for all that they do and all of your tracking needs. Kurt's been working on Husbandry Pro today, getting all of our breeding plans documented and ready. Right?
Yes. I think I'm almost done. Because as we're going, we're finding more females that we didn't think were going to be ready to go this year. But we're looking at them and we're like, man, let's set you in the scale and see what you weigh.
Ta-da! They're ready.
And sure enough, they've got follicles growing and everything. So
those are happy surprises. Second shout out is to shed testing, where we need to send our sheds, but Charlie has you covered for all of your shed testing needs. So go get those sheds.
And I believe he just reduced his prices as well.
I believe
by
20%. I saw that. I didn't know how much, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's about $10 off a test.
So buy your sheds and get them tested.
That's cool.
Because we all know that you're invested. I'm a poet.
There we go.
And you didn't even know it.
I did know it. That was a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll be here for the whole next hour.
I gotta say, Angel, that Confusion Pied slams food. She's great.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people say they have problems with the Confusions, but I haven't had that issue. I'm knocking on every piece of wood, but all the babies that I've produced, all the Confusions, they all do really well. And the Confusion Pieds that I kept, they're all doing really well. They're a little derpy sometimes, but that's a ball python thing.
Right.
Speaking of derpy, I forgot to mention that you can use the code Rainbow60 on Husbandry Pro. You get 60 free days because that is me. And I know you all liked the poet thing, the poem. I know it, B-Lock. Don't act like it wasn't funny. You're ashamed of us all now. Kurt, will you give shout outs to the people in the chat?
I can't see that far.
Oh gosh, Kurt can't see that far. Never mind.
Craig was asking me to do the same thing one day. Sorry, Craig,
I should know better. Bear is here. We get to say hi to Bear and Sophia. Sophia and Craig went out for a wonderful dinner last night. Though, Sophia and Craig, you have to come visit the Pacific Northwest where you can have real seafood, not deep fried seafood. I know it's sad. We've got B-Lock and Ed. Thanks for being here. And Sammy. Sammy's on Show Me Your Rack tomorrow morning. Get to see Sammy there. And, Craig. I just clicked a button. Craig, Kurt can't see this far away to see the chat. It's super sad. Okay.
I'm visually impaired. They used to make fun of me and call me Mr. Magoo when I was a kid. Not nice, but, I couldn't see. So
that's okay. All right. Are you guys ready to bring out Kate?
Yeah.
We've got Kate from Heart of the Python. Welcome, Kate.
Hi, how are you? It's good to be here.
Good. How are you doing?
I'm nerve-sighted.
You got it. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
We're going to have fun. First off, Craig has nothing but good things to say about you guys.
Well, that's good because I got good things to say about him too.
And the time that you guys went out to dinner and how much he looks forward to it again. So,
yeah.
You win
Friday?
You have, it's soon because you guys are going to Tinley, right?
Yep. We're going to Tinley this year.
It's already March.
And my daughters. So.
Does your whole family get to go?
No, just my husband and my daughter Emma and her best friend Lauren are going to come. They help us with the snakes every week. They feed and do socializations with the snakes. So they come with us to the shows too.
Oh, well, that'll be fun. How far of a drive or do you have to fly to go there?
We're flying. We're all the way up by Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna fly because otherwise we'd have to take too much time off of work.
Yeah.
To go.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. That would be a long ways.
We went in October.
You did?
Yeah.
That's when you got to go out to dinner with Craig. I knew that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for you to compare which, March versus October. Everybody we know says October is the show to go to.
That's what we heard too, but I also heard that last October was a little bit quieter than usual, I think because of the hurricane. But
Oh,
but it was really nice. I think it was more intimate because we were there's still a lot of people there, absolutely, but it was a lot less like, from what I've heard at least, bumper to bumper.
you didn't have to be packed in like sardines. That's
Yeah.
important.
It was really nice to be able to talk to people.
Just- It's also very important for people to wear deodorant, especially if you're packed in that tight.
Very important.
But don't count on it.
Don't count on it. Don't count on it. Oh my goodness. We got really excited, Kate, when we were looking at your Instagram and saw some of your focuses with the sunset and the
Yeah.
puzzle.
Yeah. Monarch, Scrambler.
Yes.
Trying not to do it all though. It's hard to
That's
pick and
also
choose.
important.
Yeah, we definitely
It is hard.
started with a wide lens and are trying to narrow things down a little bit.
I think that's how everybody does it anyway. There's a lot to take in at first. There's a lot that you like. You don't know how far you're gonna go, what you want to do. But that's fine. You throw a wide net and then you just kind of narrow it out as you go.
Yeah. We're really focused on like the Monarch project and, like you said, Sunset, Scrambler. And
What would you say is your favorite one out of the stuff you have?
my favorite's definitely Monarch. I really,
That's a very respectable answer. Monarch's beautiful.
it really is, and it's really untapped, and I think it's got a lot of potential to, in the next several years, to really play around with it.
Do you think so to kind of play on that, being untapped, like, do you find yourself doing or wanting to do stuff that you don't think anybody else is doing, or do you want to go in a direction that's kind of your own,
I think having Monarch be so untapped, it really gives us the opportunity to do a lot of things that haven't been done and maybe not everybody's doing. This year we're going to be making, hopefully, everybody goes, hats for the Monarch Sunset Project. Some hats for Monarch Clown. Sorry, I'm still getting over the cold from last week. So I'm still
Okay, we've all haved it, so we all completely understand where you're coming
my
from.
voice is still weird from it. So
yeah. I'm really excited about Monarch Sunset. I think it's going to be really, really cool. I think the contrast that Monarch brings into all of the morphs and the fact the color palette of Sunset and how they're both pattern morphs will really kind of work off of each other. I think it's going to be really, really pretty. I think it's going to give Sunset Ultra Mel a run for its money, for sure.
It definitely should.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're a few years away from that, but I'm excited for the long game.
Do you mind if we share our screen and show off one of your Instagram posts with some of your beautiful Monarch stuff, Kate?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, this is the fun part where I say that and then I have to remember how to use screen share.
This is where we
Here's the
struggle
way
to
out of me.
operate.
This is fun. Can you see it? There it
Oh
is.
yeah, there we go.
There's one of your posts.
Yeah.
Your Monarch stuff. Look at that. They look very happy and healthy.
Yeah. Well, Monarchs tend to be really big and chunky girls. And
was that a Monarch Sugar? That one right there.
yeah,
That's
she's
cool.
she's my prize girl. She's gorgeous. I think she's probably one of the prettiest snakes I've got. Although it's hard to pick your favorites.
It is hard, especially when they're listening.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes it even harder.
One of my favorites.
See,
But you're all my favorites.
they don't make snake earmuffs yet, so
It's okay.
it's just, Kurt's like, oh gosh, who
They'd
invited
be able
Mickey
to
here?
hear you anyway.
I know. I invited me here. Okay, I have to show this one because I don't think Angel's seen it, and this is the one I was talking about. Angel,
Yeah.
are you ready?
Hmm?
I think Kate already knows which one I'm going to show.
I bet.
This one. Look at it. It's like it glows.
She's so orange. And like orange and black.
Yeah, That's really cool.
Do you see what
Yeah.
she is? Are you ready for the long list of what she is?
Yeah.
Scrambler, Blackhead, Barnhart Black Pastel, Orange Dream, Pos Hydra.
Interesting.
Right?
And she's growing really quickly. I think she's at
Every
like,
time I hear Hydra, it reminds me of Captain America.
yeah,
I don't know anything about Hydra.
it is.
Someone has to educate me. What is Hydra? Anybody?
It's a really cool morph that we got into it through Genetic Genesis.
Okay.
One of the breeder males, we've got a het clown, lesser Hydra boy that is going to some of our clown females this year. So we're hoping to make Hydra, leopard, and clowns possibly, and Hydra yellow belly leopard clowns, hopefully, maybe with het lavender. It tends to make the snake a little brighter, and it causes a lot of really cool chaining of the alien heads that just messes up the pattern and just makes. And I think that's kind of like why they called it Hydra, because it kind of connects the alien heads, makes them look.
Is it like an incomplete dominant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe they've made a super form, but I'm not entirely sure. I know the boys are working towards it. Genetic Genesis.
At Southeast, they had some really awesome Hydra stuff. It also had a really large price tag. But man, those snakes were, I think they had 2 of them in there.
Yeah.
They were really beautiful snakes.
Yeah, they had one of the babies of the male that we got, and he's gorgeous. So hopefully we can make some like him.
Yeah, with what you guys have, I don't think you'll have a problem not making something gorgeous.
I would have to agree.
I'm really excited. We're like making this year. We're going to be doing a lot of breeding for the future, making a lot of hets. But you know, you got to build a platform before you can stand on it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's true, and that's a lot. You know, if you look at like a lot of the old timers, man, that's all they had were hets.
Yeah.
You know, you had to build from something. And a lot of people bought possible hets. You know, Ben Rennick spent a ton of money on just pos hets, just way before genetic testing, and he just bought a ton of pos hets and just took the chance because they were dirt cheap. He was buying tons of them, pos hets, and then you know over time he proved a bunch of them out, and he definitely it definitely worked out for him as far as like you know him building up his collection. But
Yeah.
that was before genetic testing, so now it's way easier.
I know it's really interesting to get in now with the genetic testing and how it's changing the industry from even just like a couple of years ago, and learning how everybody's learning along with us about how to utilize it and leverage it to grow their collection. I find it really interesting.
Yes, but genetic testing only works if you're not like Kurt and I, and you actually send in your sheds.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. We actually have come up with a strategy of just saving all of our sheds and bringing them to shows and then just handing them to people.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah,
We could have done that.
that has become our strategy because apparently mailing them out is a lot harder than it sounds.
They could have fit in our suitcase so
Right.
easily.
I'm sure Charlie would have loved that. Oh, hey, by the way, here's
Take
a
these
packet.
with you.
Here's a packet of sheds.
Yeah, he loves it when we hand him a package. We have
So
a whole
much
bunch
easier
for
than
you
shipping it.
personally. I don't know if he's going this. I think he said he was going. I'm not sure, but we'll bring him with us just in case.
So he needs
Just
to
in
bring
case.
an empty suitcase so he can bring back all the shit.
All
Yeah.
the sheds. You know,
Hopefully he gets a checked bag for free.
they squish down very
Yep.
well, though.
They do.
Don't take up a lot of room.
No, they don't. You can put them in an envelope.
Angels like that, that's reliant on or dependent upon how many sheds one brings.
I mean,
As Angel's got an entire filing cabinet full of sheds.
that will never seem to be sent out for whatever reason. It's like I feel like I just need to collect a couple more. I just need a couple more before I just need a couple more.
Yeah, because it's always like, oh well, I have this shed to send out, but I'm waiting for this one to shed.
Yeah, and
So
it turns out now I have a shed collection. If anyone would like to see it, nice and labeled. Like that's what ends up happening. I haven't sent shit out. Not one yet.
Either have we have a nice little pile going, and then we were waiting for one to shed and she shed, but she like completely soiled the shed beyond repair. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
that's not salvageable. So now we've got to wait.
I've got a list of like 13 or 14 animals on this whiteboard above us.
Mhm.
And every single one of them seems to either get the entire shed in the water,
Of course.
defecate in it, or it's just so saturated with a urate that it's not even usable.
Mm-mm.
Every time. It's been there for what? 3 or 4 months. I've been
I don't
waiting on
wanna
these
think about
animals.
So we understand. I think your strategy of bringing them to shows and handing them to him instead is probably a very, very good plan.
I'm sure he loves it. I'm sure.
I'm sure he does. Clint in the comments says he's excited to see the monarch sunsets when you hit them.
I'm
Yes.
excited too.
Do you think it will be brighter or a little darker than the Ultramel version?
I'm hoping it's a little bit of both. I'm hoping it for the contrast is really what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
Dark,
You're hoping
dark,
it pulls the
light.
pattern out darker and then everything else is brighter?
Yeah. The one of the hard parts about sunset is that the pattern tends to get lost. Even like the brightest sunsets, it has really cool pattern when you look at them really close up, and it really scrambles up the alien heads. But it's just hard to showcase it, and I think that's one of the keys to sunset is to try and figure out how to bring that pattern up without changing the color too much.
I think the key to sunset and a lot of things, and I say this all the time, is just I think eventually it'll end up being something that, you know, comes down to like line breeding.
Yeah.
Where you continue to work the nicest versions, and I'm just talking about just a single, you know, gene version of it, but you know, finding that those other genes that obviously do work well with it, but it's the quality of it. Like if you're producing quality sunsets over and over and over and over again, you will see the contrast, you will see the pattern, you'll see all
Yeah.
of these things, because that's also what you're looking for. So your
Yeah.
eye's going to keep back all the ones that are attractive to you. But just like every gene, just give it a couple of years, couple more years, and they'll come out nicer, especially if someone is particularly trying to make it look nicer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they would say buy with your eyes, and we really try to do that. Is, you know, you can see all different sunsets go from everything from muddy brown to, you know, bright yellows and everything in between, just like clown or any other morph really. But if you're taking a look at the animal that you're buying, and that's why I like buying at shows, is because you can see it not through a camera, not through a lens, not through, you know, you have it right in front of you in your hand. Especially like with Monarch. Sorry, I'm losing my voice apparently.
You're fine.
Especially with Monarch. Monarch is absolutely beautiful, especially in person. You know, it's so funny with all the technology that we have and all of this like high definition everything, still getting the snakes to look like they do in your hand on a picture is an art form.
It's an art form.
It's so hard. And I always tell people too, you know, go to shows. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Go to shows so you can see things. But you know, you can take a chance buying online. Just ask. It never hurts to ask for a couple extra questions, not 50. I mean pictures. Like don't ask for like 50 pictures, but a couple extra pictures is okay. It's okay. Like that doesn't bother me. That's fine. You know, but I don't want to be like, can you take it outside? Can you take it in your kitchen? Do you think you can take it in the dark? Like I don't want to do
Take it in the
100
dark.
different
Black
pictures
light.
of this, like with flash, no flash, like you know.
Could you in a box? Could you?
Yes,
right,
exactly.
it ends up being like, you know, I don't mind to a
Green
certain
snake
extent,
pictures
but
and
then-
ham.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
It's true. Like
goodness.
then on the flip side, there's some that are, when you take pictures of them and you're like, I can't show people that's not what this thing looks like.
Yeah.
It's so nice in the pic. This is not what this animal looks like, man. I gotta dull it down a little bit because this animal does not look this good in real life.
No,
So-
sometimes when you take a photo, it really pulls out a brightness sometimes that isn't even there. And then you have a really bright animal and it makes it look really dull. And when it doesn't look dull,
Yeah, even a
Photos.
professional has problems with this. This is not.
It's definitely tough.
I'm trying to work with like Steven at Leviathan to try and perfect my pictures and get the lighting, and haven't invested in the camera yet, but we're working on it. to try and make sure that we can showcase the animals that we do get in the best possible light so that they can look their absolute best because they're beautiful. That's one of the things I love about them is they're not only are they like beautiful snakes on the outside with all the different patterns and colors and chain and everything. There's something for everybody. But I also think they're really just like gentle animals, and by nature, it's part of like Heart of the Python. We originally started off with the idea that we're not just breeding for beauty on the inside, as well. Well, we're breeding for beauty on the inside, not just on the outside. So a lot of our animals we only don't just pick because they're really pretty, but we also pick them for temperament. Part of the reason why I really like the monarchs is I haven't met a mean monarch yet. I don't know if anybody else has, but every monarch that I've met, held, looked at has been really just a sweet animal. And maybe they don't love coming out and being held, but they tolerate it really well. I don't think I've been snapped at by a monarch ever. And these snakes are around my kids. They're, I have my 15-year-old daughter and her best friend are the ones who come in and they clean and they feed with us and they take the snakes out and they provide enrichment and handle them and get some of the ones that are a little more nervous, more confident. Our sunset male that we got, he's Enchi Fire Extreme Gene Sunset. And when we got him, he was so terrified of everything. Like you put him in the tub and you open it up and you just like walk by and you'd hear him hit the thing because he was just so jumpy and so scared. And my daughter worked with him, and he's the sweetest snake you could meet now. Like he'll like you open the tub, he comes right out, and he just gets and he goes exploring with her. And I think working with them more than just the morphs is rewarding in a lot of ways.
It is. I think it's therapeutic. You go in and hang out. I find myself lately. I'm in here and I don't even have any. I usually have music on or something on. Everything's just been quiet, and I've just been hanging out in here. It's really peaceful.
Yeah.
Like,
I think especially for like my family and a lot of families out there, things can be really stressful lately in the world, and sometimes it's hard to see too far into the future and see hope especially for a lot of kids. I talk to a lot of kids, and sometimes it's really hard for them to see a future that's bright. And I know that that's a kind of a Debbie Downer thing, but with the snakes, planning for, monarch sunsets in 5 years, to be able to take that plan and make that with my family and be like, we're going to be doing this in 5 years, and we're going to get to see this excitement in 5 years or 4 years or 3 years, whenever we finally hit it. Or 10 years, who knows? But I'm going to go with 5 just because that seems like a good number.
We like 5 as well.
5 sounds good.
That's a good
5
number.
yeah, 5 sounds good. If you put it out into the universe, right?
Exactly. Speak it out there.
The power of pushing it out there.
But to be able to look forward to something, even if it's just little, that's, new life, new excitement is, I think, really therapeutic when there's a lot of social media and, doom and gloom that is just so at the fingertips of everybody.
Yeah, just turn it off. Go in your snake room.
Yeah, go in your snake room. Yeah.
It's honestly, I haven't had much of a social media presence in a while myself. I haven't watched a lot of lives. I don't even touch my phone half the time lately. And I'm in here, and I'm just in here. Like, I should be posting. I should be putting stuff on MorphMark. I should be doing all that shit. But I've been I spoke to Nikki and Kurt here. I told them that I haven't been watching anything. I just kind of been disconnected a little bit, just because like there's just so much of everything. So I just
You were just taking a sabbatical.
I just come in here, and it's not even a problem like that. I have an issue with like any of the lives or anybody. Like I don't nothing. I just need a break.
Sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes I think you just need a break, and you need to get back to why you got started. And the whole reason why we got started was because we love the animals.
I've been on a refresher as well. I just put my headphones on, put on an audiobook, and I just do the work, enjoy the animals, and relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it. I think they're beyond the whole, breeder and industry or whatever we want to call it. Even past like being a hobbyist, I think for the most part, having a handful of ball pythons, maybe a couple leopard geckos, whatever, having a few of these animals in your home, the stress relief that you get, because I don't have to run home. I don't have to rush home and walk the dog. I don't have to rush home to change the litter box. Not that there's anything wrong with cats or dogs. But on the flip side, when it comes to, a ball python or a leopard gecko or anything like that, and you could just have a couple of them. You come home, just chill. Like, they're so low maintenance, and they're not jumping on you. There's not all this extra energy that you kind of maybe don't need. Like, not everybody needs that. Somebody just, some people just like to chill. And I think you couldn't pick a better animal to just chill with. I mean, I'm sure you could. Everybody has it. But
yeah, and to be able to do something with our whole family, that doesn't require screens, that's hands-on, and again, just planning for the future in a positive way, and having something to look forward to that's simple and exciting, and you kind of never know what you're going to get. It's got a lot of value,
because it's your project with your family.
Yeah.
You guys are doing it all together. And it's got time. You got time for this. And during the 5 years, a lot's going to change.
Oh yeah, a lot's going to change. But being able to connect on a different level without all that noise, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're right. The whole process, there's just time involved in all of it, and waiting and guessing and hoping. It provides a lot of hope.
Yeah, it really gives you an outlet for that focus that seems to be missing from a lot of people.
Yeah, because you
It's
have
very important.
got to pair them, and then you've got to wait for that, and then get the eggs, and you've got to wait for that, and then you've got they hatch, and then you've got to wait to see what genetics they have, and wait to see who's a boy and who's a girl. And there's a lot of hope in it.
There's a lot of hope, and there's a lot of education along the way.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to learn, you're going to change. In 2 years, you might see somebody, because there's people doing shit we don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah.
In 2 years, you might see a post, and someone might have, a monarch het sunset available.
Yeah.
And you might be like, oh, that might push me 2 years
please.
forward.
Yeah.
Like, it could bump you up. You might, you'd be like, oh, I can throw that, and it could be a good size or whatever. Those things happen. Or it could be, 1 or 2 or 3 incomplete dominants. That's double het for that.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, I kind of like, that's kind of cool. And see, so, and that could completely change your whole thing.
Yeah. But I think, like I said, bringing hope into it all is, I think, really rewarding.
Do you have any favorite babies that you guys have produced so far, Kate?
So we have produced 1 clutch.
Okay. So you still might have favorites in that, because I know we had favorites in our old.
Yeah, we have a lot of favorites, and we have kept the entire clutch.
There you go.
We may let some of them go in not too distant future, but our first clutch was 2 snakes from Kevin McCurley at Nerds, and he was doing his Kevin McCurley, like, really excited about this, and are like, we're looking to get into breeding, and he's like, here, I want to see what this one and this one make. And we're like, and both the snakes were really, had great temperaments, and we'd already kind of fallen in love with the female. And so they have Odium and Enchi and Fader, and we think Orange Dream and Possible Bald. And as new people, we're having a little bit of trouble identifying what everybody is.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
Because Kevin's got the weirdest shit, man. He makes up all these names. He puts all this shit together, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'll check this shit out. And it's got like 19 different things in it. And
Yeah.
obviously, but I love him for it. I absolutely do. His passion for this shit has never ended.
It's
For
amazing.
all the years that I've fucking seen him, 25 plus years that I mean, like it's incredible. Where did you meet him, at a show, or did you go to his place?
No, so we are we're in Boston, we're near Boston, Massachusetts. So we're probably about like 2.5 hours away from like his zoo place. Bill and I went there on like a facility tour as a date.
Nice. I like it.
Went way back when we were young and in love, and not that we're not in love now, but before kids.
Yes.
And we had met him during that, and that's where we actually got our first 2 ball pythons. We got them probably 2006 or 7. We were just a bunch of college kids with 2 ball pythons. I was going to Becker College, and I was studying animal sciences, and we did fun things like take x-rays of my snakes. And practice giving like subcutaneous fluids to my poor snake. Her name was Lady. She was super sweet. She used to go to class with me. And then we had a spider ball python. His name was Severus Snake.
I love it.
He was not very nice.
Okay. Of course not.
He was the absolute opposite of Lady, but that's how we met him way back when. And then when my daughter started showing a real interest in reptiles, my middle daughter, Emma, she started showing an interest in reptiles. And for part of her Christmas present, we did a family tour of their facility, which if you get a chance to, you really should do it. It's they've got tortoises and tegus and more snakes than I could tell you the kind of. And we got talking to Kevin and ended up taking home some ball pythons. And that's how this got started all over again. So it was a lot of fun. But our first clutch has a lot of really, really pretty animals in it that have a lot of really cool genetics. I could probably pull one of them out if you want me to, but I don't have to.
I'm not gonna stop you.
Right.
No.
Yeah, it's up to you.
No, we definitely won't ever stop you.
Yeah, we did.
No,
We made,
no snakes on the snake
similar
show,
move
please. None. We don't want any.
where they had what? We had a possible 8 gene baby that we could make on our first pairing. And it was really rough kind of identifying that clutch.
What do you have on your?
Oh no, that's
us. You don't want to see us.
No, hold on. Angel, you're still here. I don't know why we're stuck in alone land here. Here we go. We're going to figure this out. Doing it live, people. There we go.
Yay.
There's a lot of buttons to click, you guys. There's a lot of buttons to click. Your legs fall asleep. Frenchie has to sit in like one exact spot in the middle of us. Makes my foot fall asleep and Kurt's arm fall asleep. Child dog.
All right, this is a girl. She's been named Yellow Jacket. And she's just super pretty.
She's very pretty.
Yeah.
What are
Now
the
Kurt's
genes?
running to get back in here. Look at that. Okay, I'm taking us
Oh,
off
it's really-
here so we
It's
can
got
just
nice
see you.
size to it too.
Yeah, she likes to eat.
Just see it larger.
She's just like her mom. She'll eat it. She'll eat in blue.
Make it bigger. Look at that.
So we think that she's Odium, Enchi, Malum, Pastel,
Well, you guys got
And
all the fun stuff.
possible, and Genula. We got to send her out for a test now that they've got some more of those tests. But if you see, like, her side pattern is just completely blown
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And she's got
Yeah, that's a doozy for a first clutch. That's a fun one. But they're
Yeah.
beautiful.
She's really pretty. But yeah, she's probably like, she's the stunner. But we've got a bunch of them that are kind of like this, and so yeah. but like a lot of them have that kind of chaining up the side that just kind of blows up that side pattern. That's supposedly odium, possibly fader, with some yellow belly maybe. But again, that's a lot of maybes for us to be like, here, we're going to sell this.
And I could see why you'd want to keep them too, though, because they're beautiful and bright.
Yeah. When she first popped out, we thought she might be super pastel, but there's only pastel on one side of the clutch, so couldn't be.
I feel like that would be really bright even without pastel in it.
Yeah, I have one that doesn't have pastel.
Snake genetics. Amazing thing. Your logo is so cool.
Thank you.
The heart.
You want to come out, Jax? Jax is probably the normalest one of the bunch. And with all those genes, you got a snake that looks pretty normal, but he still has that like kind of chaining in the belly.
Yeah.
He's het pied too. Out of all of them, we got them all tested, and only one of them came out het pied.
Interesting.
Even if they had a 50% chance, because I always said that it was to show us that just because it's the odds doesn't mean it's what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a painful lesson. You should
Only
have
really
1 to 2 odds, and then you get 1.
Or none if you're us.
Yeah, we had it was supposed to be 100% het
pied.
het pied, and he sired like 3 clutches, and not a single baby was het pied.
Jeez.
So we've now moved him along. At the last show, somebody wanted him,
He's living a good pet life.
but
now.
yeah, we change it to Pos het pied.
After that, yes.
This is the Hydra, the Pos Hydra girl that you were talking about.
Oh yeah,
Oh, she's really pretty.
she is really pretty. Look how
She's
big
super-
she's gotten.
And what is she again?
She's black hat, Barnhart, black pastel, scrambler, orange dream, possible Hydra. We're thinking that she is the Hydra because of how like the alien heads are kind of linked together like that. But not entirely sure. I'm gonna put her away because she ate on Thursday, and I don't want her to get too stressed out about it. But she was right next to Jax, so I figured, we like to come out. She's really adventurous too. She's another one that. Sorry. Generally, if you open the tub, she just comes right out and she's like, "Hey, hello, world," and not come out like to strike you. She just wants to come out and be like and cruise around.
That's a good thing to be. Ours are the opposite right now. They just want to eat every time we're out there. So ours just want to strike you with love.
We've got one in particular that's terrifying. It's what is Mabel? She's leopard.
Oh, she's
red
vicious.
striped
Be
clown.
hungry.
And she flies out of the bin and tries to get you every time. Even if you have I use one of Angel's snake hooks.
Yeah.
And I try holding her down so I can get past her head. She
Yeah.
doesn't care.
No.
Strike first, ask questions later. And she comes out with her mouth open, like, "Where's it?" And then realizes there's nothing. It doesn't matter. So I'm glad that yours come out in peace.
Well, we've worked on it too. It's not just like it's not just
No.
like it just happened that way,
They don't
Like-
just go to Bill and Kate's and become just peaceful by nature, I guess.
We work on it. We have the girls that come in. They come in and they just kind of one day a week they come in and they just handle everybody so that they are used to it. Because a lot of our a lot of them are going to end up being pets, and that having them used to being handled by teen girls is probably the easiest way to get them used to being handled in general.
Yes. Clint says, "Wowzers, what a combo. She's pretty." I don't know if
She's
you can
really
see that.
pretty, and she's growing really quickly. We got her from, I think, I just looked it up. So, Hub City. and she's Chris Hernan's Deep Orange line, I believe, for her OD.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You guys just did your first podcast last week too, or this week, I guess it is still.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was really exciting.
Your first one under your belt.
Yep. This is my first solo one.
You're doing great, Kate.
I hope so.
Great. You are.
We had a lot of fun. It was nice to talk about a morph that I love and to see how everybody else is doing with it and how excited the community is about Monarch and the future of Monarch. I'm just blown away by what everybody's doing with it.
You were the Herp and Harbins on there too?
Yeah, they were. I was just actually honestly like a little bit blown away just to be like sitting in the room with all of those with you know, the Herb and Harbins and Tyler and everybody there, because we're so new to this, you know, really.
Yeah, the first one's always the worst one, and then you know you meet them and you're like, oh cool, they're just normal people too.
Yeah,
Normal.
Awesome
people.
Yeah, normal awesome people.
normal people with a room full of snakes.
Yes, it's really amazing.
Normal. That's
It's
normal.
definitely normal.
That is normal.
To us, it's normal.
To us, it is
It's
normal.
normal to us.
No,
More comfortable that way.
Yeah,
it is more comfortable that way. I love how to the left of Angel's head or the right on the screen, that snake, it's not doing it now, but every time. Yep, that one
That
right
one.
there.
Yep.
No, one down. One down.
Yeah.
That one usually is like right there the whole entire time.
Yeah,
there she is, or he.
Yep. Oh,
No matter
saying
how,
hi.
no matter where I go, she's always right here. That's just her. She's always right there. Every time I come in
That's
here.
that's my squirrel moment for today. I
Sorry.
just have been staring at it the whole entire time. Like,
If any show you watch that I've been in here, she's always the one right there. That's why if you ever hear me turning my head, it's her messing around with stuff. Or I got a couple over there that just they don't stay still either.
she's having a great old time.
She's trying to be
Kate,
on
do you
camera.
guys breed your own rodents? Do you order rodents?
we just started breeding ASFs
Very
with
nice.
mixed reviews of success. We are now on our second generation, so we've made it from one generation to another. Our second generation just had babies, so we're keeping it small. Most of our animals are on frozen thawed. We're really breeding the ASFs. We aren't breeding ASFs. ASFs aren't allowed where we are. We have
You have field mice.
Desert
Yeah.
field mice or
desert
deer
field
mice.
mice, right?
I hear nothing.
They're the same. They're really similar. So it's just easier for me to say ASFs, but they're desert field mice.
Yes,
Rather than explaining it every time.
exactly.
The desert field mice are really for some of our more picky, like, because we bought a lot of breeder females. Not a lot, but we bought quite a few breeder females, and some of them are really stuck in their ways about live. And
That's where the mice come in handy.
yeah, exactly. But most of them, if we can, just switch them to frozen thawed, we do. Just because they don't have a lot of room for a big rodent production right now.
Yes, and it can take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Especially
lot
when
of
your ASF start, or your mice. When your mice start making a lot of babies.
Yes.
Yeah. Our production is so much right now. It's really nice to have, but it's given us the problem of we need another grow out rack to try to grow them past like the hopper size.
Yeah.
It's a good mouse problem to have.
It is a good problem to have.
Not like the one that has been masquerading around in my truck lately. Those are not the mice problems you want to have.
They're not the ones you want to have at all.
No.
No.
It's that time of year.
It is.
I like to do that. You guys have a lot of packing to do to get ready to go on your trip?
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty low maintenance when it comes to packing. I probably should pack more than I do. But I'm like, we don't bring it. We don't need it.
Exactly.
Bill likes to
Your packing style.
Yeah.
Bill likes to bring everything in the kitchen sink. He's my list maker. He makes all the lists, and I'm like,
It's mine.
yeah, it's fine.
It's me.
You have to have one in the relationship, the list maker and then it'll be fine.
Yeah, if we forget something, it'll be available to purchase where we're going.
That's what he tries to remind me. It doesn't help.
No,
It doesn't help.
it doesn't.
Angel, are you the list maker or it's going to be okay?
Man, it really depends on the day. You know?
I thought you'd be the list maker.
If it's for the show, like I'm set. But that's because I do it by myself. But if I'm going on vacation, like that shit is all my wife. I just show up, I'm sitting on the bed next to my son waiting for my clothes. I'm like, I'm not part of this shit. I just show up and go where
you open your suitcase when you get there and go, oh, this is what I'm wearing today.
Cool. I like this shirt. Like, I think it's because I just like with certain things, I just like shut off. I don't want to think about it. Like if she's like, oh, I'm going to do this, that, and the other, I'm like, go ahead. I full trust. I don't care. Do what you want. She said, we're going here today. Cool. Let me get my pants. Let's go. Like, I don't care. But when it comes, like for the show, for this stuff, whatever. I make lists for everything. I have lists for lists.
I get that. Kate, when you go to Tinley, do you spend all day there? We've never been, but we've heard that lots of people prefer to only go like to the VIP times or the Friday when they open on Friday and then go in the mornings. Do you go? What do you do?
That's what we did. We went to the Friday and then we went in the morning and then we kind of like let the crowd die down and then we went again like towards the end of the show.
Okay. That makes sense. Because we heard it gets pretty crazy during the daytime and that it's just too people-y for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can get really
a good game plan.
And then pulling the all-dayers at the Southeast, that was pretty brutal.
We were exhausted. It was a lot of fun, but I can't. And Southeast had a lot of space, so we weren't jam-packed. But I can't imagine being at at a show like Tinley that's so
shoulder to shoulder.
The aisles are smaller, not as wide, all day long.
Yeah,
so I think you have a smart game plan.
I'm really admire the people who go and bring their animals there, because we're gonna probably eventually do shows. We have it in our plan, but we're not entirely sure when we'll start doing that. Depends on the animals we get and when we get them. But I have so much respect for the people who bring their animals and to sell. It's got to be so exhausting.
It is.
I bet.
Do you have any local shows by you that you could start going to, like something small?
There are a bunch of shows in like New Hampshire, and a couple in Massachusetts that are pretty popular. I cannot give you their official acronym off the top of my head.
There's many acronyms in the world.
Yeah, their official acronym, but they're we went a couple of years ago to just go to one, and surprisingly didn't end up with an animal, which was a shock. That was probably 4 years ago or so. It was right after COVID, and like when they first started opening up, and that was a lot of fun. And they're pretty popular, but we have not vended. I would like to like vend beside somebody first, like go and like I'll be like one of the people who carry your mics or whatever for shows, like just so they kind of help out and see how everybody does it.
Angel will tell you that that's a good first way to do it. Wouldn't you, Angel? You recommend that a lot.
Definitely find a mentor or someone that you can shadow at a show, even for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And then I usually say, like, once you get that feel for how that feels to be on the other side of the table, if you want to jump into it, that's fine, especially if you have a partner or somebody else that you want to do it with. But another way to do it is to share space with someone. If you can like split a booth, or in whatever way, 50-50, however you're going to split it, and like put some of your animals on the table. You only have 5 animals, so what? You have only 5 animals. A lot of us, that's how I started. I only had a couple animals, and then I put it on my friend's table, and so and so. Then I had enough to fill a table, Then I was getting my own tables, and then I would allow other people to put stuff on my tables, and then we just kind of move on. Now they're putting. It's just for me. That's how, in my mind, that's the best way to grow the community as far as a like getting people to do shows and feel comfortable. Is just get behind the table, share a booth, get your own,
Roadies.
help other people
Yeah,
start,
right.
and it just keeps
Yeah.
going. It just keeps going. And
That was
eventually, I got
one.
2 tables. I got 3 tables. I need help anyway, so put your shit on my table because I need some extra eyes or whatever it is that's going on. And just like what we do at the show, we tend to try to get our tables next to each other so that we can watch each other, we can help each other. Even if you're doing that, you split with someone and then you guys can be next to each other. It's extremely helpful.
Yeah, I think if we do the shows, it'll be mostly with Bill, because my job is generally need to be there on the weekends.
Mhm.
So it'll probably be with Bill and my daughter Emma and maybe her friend too. That'll be doing that. So
Just get good. Try to get good displays if you want to make sure that nothing gets walked off your table. Stuff like
You
that.
have eyes in the back of your head.
Have eyes. But every time you do a show, you're
that
gonna
comes with
learn
the
more.
mom package, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah,
It absolutely
it does.
does. It does. But every time you do a show, you'll learn something more. You'll see something. Oh wow, that's cool. I like what they have. I like what they're doing over there. I want to do something similar. But
Table
bottom line,
envy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Table envy is a real thing.
you get table envy, but you also get ideas. You're like, oh, that's a cool idea. But
Yeah.
the number one thing, I'll tell you this: the number
Yeah.
one thing, bring snacks.
Okay.
Bring snacks because
Some Tylenol.
like
Or
I have a whole
aspirin.
pharmacy I bring, but that's different. But I feel like the
Allergy
number
pills.
one thing you're gonna need is just you need to eat something throughout the day. You just bring some snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't always feel like a greasy piece of pizza,
Hmm.
I bet.
especially in those long days.
Or the
Got
garlic fries, the mountain of garlic fries. I have to talk to people.
Oof.
I'm not having these garlic fries. I want them.
Yeah.
You're
that
not gonna want me to have them.
would-
So I'm
No.
not gonna. I have to stay away. The worst, I'll have coffee breath. I drink coffee all day long. But
I think you have to in order to vend a show. I would to keep up with the energy.
If we could have a coffee IV, Angel and I would.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless you're Bear, because then he's chugging Ghost and Monster.
Yeah.
like right here, a bag of coffee just fed in. That's fine.
One of those hats we could.
A
Yep.
coffee dispensing helmet.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's one of the. I'm gonna
And then-
label with
and
like
then
get a
the
little logo on them.
Yeah, a little heat pad that keeps it warm, like it's a
Yeah.
little actual coffee pot constantly.
Just keep the
Angel,
pot.
you have a 3D printer. We could work on this.
I can do this. I can
I'm
do
ready.
this.
I'm ready for it.
I
Yeah,
just
we've
wanna-
definitely.
I think we should just bring our own coffee pot. I think that's.
Oh, yeah, we could.
I was going to
Plug
last
that
time,
shit in
but
back there.
I didn't get it packed. I was gonna do French press right there in the.
Next time. I just like how excited Jamie got to be a reptile roadie as well.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
definitely
I
the word
wish-
I was looking for.
I wish we would have had that experience first, and not just jumped in immediately to the wolves.
It's okay. Being jumping into the wolves was our first show ever. Was right after everything opened back up. I think it was the first show they had back here in Washington State after being closed down for COVID. So that was a heck of a way to hop in.
That's when I met you guys. Like
Yep.
not I met you before that, but that was when I saw you guys like setting up.
Oh, never mind. The first show we went to was the one that you were at,
Mm-hmm.
and then we vended the next year. Maybe is
Yeah,
that right? I don't even know. No, we didn't vend the first one, but you're right because we went and bought a snake from Angel. That's how we met him.
And then that's when you were like, "You're doing this by yourself? Let us know if you got to pee." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, we were, that's exactly how it went. Hey, we see that you're alone. He was like, I never pee. They call me Iron Bladder. I'm like, well, if you ever do have to go to the
his secret:
bathroom.
adult diapers.
And now we've been
I-
next to each
I-
other and he gets a bathroom break.
I
It's
get a break
great.
now. It's nice.
That's lovely.
And
That's,
now
it's always helpful.
his wife comes at the end of the show on the last day, usually, and we get to see her and your kiddo. See, look at the evolution, Angel.
Yeah, no. I just
Building your
like doing
circle.
stuff by myself. That's bad.
Yes,
tried.
in our circle. And Kate's in our circle, and Bill, even though he's in the other room, he's still in our circle. Look at that. He's doing important family things.
Yes, he is.
Oh.
But yeah, no, when I go to the shows, I definitely try and like take notes about like things I like, things I don't like, things I want to try and things that I want to try. I think probably the picture in my head is way more dramatic and way more complicated than I think we'll ever have to do, or be able to do. But it's still good to get those creative, ideas and juices going, and hopefully.
But that's good because, this industry, I've seen this industry change so much, and now we're at a point where I'm not going to say the animals don't still sell themselves, because they absolutely still do, but they sell better off of a table that looks a lot nicer and that has a better presentation, nice lighting. We're selling brands now where we weren't really selling brands 20 years ago. We were just selling animals, you'd get a VPI animal, you'd get something from Nerd, you'd get something, from certain people. But nowadays, when someone buys something from, let's say, Canova or Ozzy or something like that, it's definitely a lot different than what it used to be. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to do the same thing. So you can go to the show, having done this for a couple of years, having an amazing setup at the show.
Yeah.
And people will be like, "Where'd you get that from?" Like, those guys over there. And then it does something to you, and you keep bringing up that presentation every time. It's expensive, and you have to see how far you want to go. You got to see how far you want to go. But you also don't have to go crazy to be innovative and to also be attractive, as far as like getting people in. I'm not super flashy. I'm not trying to be super flashy. I just like talking to people at shows.
He's joking. He has a light up arrow that points right at his booth.
That's different though.
That's not.
No, I don't have that.
Just kidding. He doesn't.
But sometimes you can really make an impact with just a folding table and some chairs, because it's also your presence and how you talk to people.
Yeah.
So just take all of that stuff and then just kind of manicure your own brand.
Yeah. I think being part of a bunch of Patreons has really helped me kind of start off trying to build those things before I need them. Like I'm part of Leviathan's Patreon, Mutation Creation, Canova. I just recently joined Small Town Exotics. I'm part of like Bob Vu, trying to we are new, and so there are things that I know that I don't know. And trying to fill those knowledge gaps and surround myself with people who know more than I do and learn from them, so that eventually, hopefully, I can help people who don't know as much as I do.
And it's surprising how quickly that comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been really great meeting all sorts of people from all around the country and developing friendships and relationships with people I've never actually physically met, but still feel connected to.
And then you see all the different lives that everybody's on and everything, and then you see everybody's Instagrams, and you meet people at the shows, and you're going to find out different ways people breed. You're going to find out what people keep. Some people are heavy into one project for whatever reason. And that's the thing. We all have different stuff. We all have absolutely different, collections, and we do different things. We breed, we incubate differently. There's a lot of different things, but that's the point. Like, talk about, we're supposed to talk about these things.
Yeah. Hi, Jeff.
Jeff's amazing.
Yeah.
Jeff is great. Nellie apparently thought that she was not getting enough attention during this, and so
She needs her airtime.
Well, obviously.
she sat up.
Gotta steal the
She
show.
looks so happy about it.
She was very regal. Very.
She does in this moment.
And a little bit like that pale orc that's in the Lord of the Rings, that's the third movie, that's leading the huge army.
Let's hope she doesn't understand you.
She's kind of angry looking.
She says, "Oh," and she's yawning. She's just tired.
He's cute.
She lives a rough life.
Well, I came from a home that was definitely like, well, when you're older, you can have all the pets you want. And
Yep.
they didn't have, and I was like, ha, show you, Mom.
Yep, I'm the same, Kate. I'm in the same boat as you.
I don't think they realize that we're gonna do this shit. We're gonna
Yep.
do it.
Yeah.
Like you can say it all you want, but we're
Yeah.
gonna do it.
And now I love how they come over and they like totally tolerate it. Like there's tarantulas now in rooms in our house, right? Like
Yeah.
my mom's just like, "Did you see the tarantulas?" Expecting this crazy reaction. She's like, "Oh yeah, I was looking at them while you were out." Good for you,
Yeah.
Mom. Look at you.
Yeah, and like, but had you brought that tarantula home from like the backyard,
Oh yeah.
probably different story.
Yep. Nope. That wouldn't have been able. I would have been in lots of trouble. I'm sure. That would not have gone well.
I was definitely the kid that did the amateur herping that like came home with like the frog in the pocket. I definitely had my favorite story that my stepmother likes to tell me is how I tried to sell snapping turtle eggs that were not laid in my backyard because we found it. Me and my sister found a snapping turtle that was digging a hole in our backyard, and when we were young, we were convinced that it laid eggs. And it was definitely the counting your eggs before they hatch or whatever.
Yes.
I was like, you can have one if you want, to my neighbors, and thankfully there were no eggs and nobody went home with snapping turtle babies.
Yeah. That's a good story. Brian says it's priceless every time I tell my in-laws about a new edition. I can only imagine. I'm sure you wait for those moments, Brian.
Yeah, we're to the point where we don't tell them. We're just
No, they just
what they don't know doesn't hurt them.
exactly.
They just find out. Yeah.
I mean, after like 25, 30, 50, it doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. Like,
And that's exactly how the count jumps up. 25, 30, 50,
That's
75,
that's how it goes.
100.
Because you'll get a couple, and then you go to a show and you come back with 8 more. Like not 1 or 2, like 8 more. And then as you go along, maybe the number starts to kind of drop down to like 1 or 2 or 3. But in the beginning, like, no, fuck that. You're coming home with a 10, 8,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, he didn't have the other one, so I just put some money down on it. I'll get it in a couple months. That's when it's ready to go. Like,
or like what happened to us, the shipping window opened, and then all of a sudden there's 7 or 8 boxes here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That definitely happened. I was like, oh, because you get one at a time while the shipping window's closed, and then they all come at once, and you're like,
Oh yeah. I know my friend was like, well, what are they? What did you get? I'm like, ball pythons. She's like, no, Nikki, I know that. What morphs are they? I'm like, don't ask. We bought them a long time ago. It's finally open.
3 months ago. I don't even remember what they are.
I'll tell you
Hopefully
when I get home.
like them.
We do. We still love them. But at that moment, I was like, oh gosh, now I don't even remember. What did Jamie say? Jamie says, being an adult has its perks. Not many, but I like this one. No one's going to tell me how many horses, chickens, and snakes I can have, except Dustin. We almost got divorced over chickens. Oh, no.
That's fucked up.
This hog nose is fearless.
Yeah.
I was like, after you get over 100, it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yes, Bear. That. I just say 100. Now that's just the number.
And it happens to turn out that's about what we're at.
Yeah. But it's a good number. When somebody asks you, just say 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't look at you like their eyes don't just like pop out. Like, how many snakes do you have? Oh, I have 100.
Oh, there's definitely the double take.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Excuse me, I thought I was talking to a sane person. Walk off.
Don't ask me how many rats I have, though.
Definitely don't
That's
ask
the scary
that question.
I got 100 snakes, but
on any given day, there could.
Are we counting babies or just adults?
I'm saying there's a lot of rats going on.
Oh, you get it. Snakes gotta eat. But yeah, we recently got into hog noses too. So we have
hogs are cool. I like hogs. Hogs are great.
Yeah, Bill's getting used to them. He one of the so we got an adult female. She's het coral, and I'm pretty sure the reason why they were selling her is because she's not exactly the most pleasant snake. She's really funny if you want to laugh, because you walk into our room with the hognose and all you hear is
Oh no.
the second you walk in. Emma's trying to work with her about not being so dramatic, but
She
she's
has
a
a
hot-
pleasant disposition.
sure. Her name's Miss Hissy
South
Face.
would say, bless her heart.
Yes.
We have a Miss Hiss as well.
We do have a Miss Hiss. She's
Oh, yeah.
very pleasant.
She's very spot nosy.
Yes.
I was gonna say, when you said that you're working on good temperamented ball pythons, I was like, well, probably doesn't have a lot of spot nose.
Actually, we do have quite a bit of spot nose.
Probably they've worked with them.
I
They're
know.
friendly. If we can get near Miss Hiss,
She's gonna be
We
the
could-
challenge.
we could work with her, but she thinks
That's
we're the enemy.
the one when we purchased it from Ryan at Sailor Serpents. It
Mhm.
bit him 3 times while he was showing it, and on
Oh,
the
wow.
bite, it latched on, and as he flinched, and she went flying across the room.
And we're like, that one, we'll take that one.
He felt so bad.
God bless.
That's the one we want right there.
Yep, we're like, that's the one we're gonna get.
Well, so you got a challenge. Oh no, Emma is definitely fearless in the face of a angry snake.
That's good.
It's good.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's like, no, we're just gonna do this, and she's been bit a couple of times, but doesn't seem to mind too much. Once you get bit once, I mean, I'm a dog groomer during the day. It's my day job. So once you've been bit by a Chihuahua or a Dachshund or
Mhm.
a Doodle, a ball python's not that scary.
Nope.
No,
Yeah, no.
absolutely not. Do you have to clip Frenchie's toenails?
I do. That is a unique challenge.
Yes.
Is Angel sitting there laughing too?
I'm not saying nothing, man.
Yeah, I
I put my dues in. I work enough.
I just embarrassingly 2 weeks ago tried to take Nellie to the vet to get her nails trimmed, thinking that like our Chihuahuas that we used to have, that
Mhm.
she'd be better for them. That was a lie. She was not better for them. I got sent home with one nail trimmed and medication to calm her down before I take her back again.
Try a groomer.
Okay. Okay.
No, the vets don't. The vets, the vets have their medical specialty, but the groomer. This is what we do. I must do, 10 dog nail trims a day. So that's, give or take on any given day for 4 feet for each dog. That's a lot of nail trims. So we get a lot of.
That's nice of you not just to trim one paw
Yeah, I think
nails
our average with her right now is about 3.
that we can get done. Yes, before
Yeah.
she realizes what we're into. I'll
Yeah.
message you later, Kate. We'll have a dog nail conversation. You can.
Absolutely, we can definitely do it. But I try to look a groomer. Sometimes they have
I
quick tips and
agree.
tricks.
I
that
agree.
the
Find a
vets don't
groomer.
have.
I agree.
Okay.
I 100% agree, because that's what you do. Honestly, the vet. I don't give a shit who your vet is. Okay, this is just coming from a million fucking years of experience of doing this shit.
Mhm.
I don't care who your vet is. I don't care how nice they are.
Mhm.
Don't bring your dogs there for nail clips, please. The vet's nice about it because they're not doing it. The techs, we're the ones in the back that gotta fight your dog for nail trims for $5. Please go to your groomer.
Mhm.
Do it.
Right.
Because the techs have so much other shit to do. Not
Yeah,
Yeah,
nail
I mean, like
trims.
you're not gonna
That's
ask
what
me to give
groomers
your
are
dog an
for.
injection. I'm not gonna be doing that.
Yeah.
That's that's their job. So
But a groomer, find a good groomer. They're amazing. That's what they do. That's it. Techs are great too. Trust me, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
that's not what they want
I-
to do.
Amazing.
I was a tech for a while.
It's not what you want to do. It's not what I wanted to do. I get my name. Hey, oh, we got a in room 1. Okay, what? It's a Frenchie nail clip. Oh fuck.
I told the tech when I was talking to her on the phone, I was like, I don't know how bad this is gonna be. I'm sorry. We did not do our YouTube research before we bought a Frenchie. and realize how bad this nail trim actually is. Like it's like a caricature, and I can't believe something without a neck can get its neck turned that far to bite you.
Without a neck.
So in your opinion, top 3 worst dogs to get.
I know
get
you're
nail
gonna say a
trimmed with.
Frenchie. I know.
Top 3 worst
Frenchie,
dogs for nail trim.
Pug.
Chihuahua.
I have mine, but I want to
Yeah,
hear yours.
I would say Chihuahua, Frenchie, Pug. Any of the dogs that like have like some bulldogs because it's just with them they have like that like the easty westy feet that go in like different
Mhm.
directions. It gets really hard for them.
That was our Chihuahuas. You'd go to
Yeah.
get their feet, and their feet would go all different ways. And you're like, how is that possible?
Yeah. Starting them young usually helps, but
Mhm.
just patience and practice.
It's patience and a smidgen of humility. Had to do it.
Oh yeah, nothing will humbly like trying to wrangle a Frenchie for nails.
No.
Frenchie or a
It
pug,
won't.
they have like there's nothing to grab, nothing to hold on to.
It's very true.
And the
This
English
has been
bulldog's like a giant potato. Like I can't.
It is like a giant potato. She is a giant potato, but she also like in the moment she gets so scared she projectile poops. Just fun.
that's
Yeah.
terrible.
It's so much fun, you guys, and yeah, it was great.
And this is why you just get a ball python.
It wasn't embarrassing at all because Kurt sent me with her because I think you were still sick.
Yes,
You were not
I was.
feeling good.
I was just trying to help.
So I went thinking it was going to be okay, and also saw like 5 people I knew while I was there. I was like, this is so much fun.
Always.
Can't wait to come back again. Never. Don't want to do it.
The screaming, the bloody murder screaming,
No,
Yeah.
that
Oh, man.
that did not happen.
No,
but
she didn't?
projectile poop was not enough.
Oh, she's not a screamer.
Does
She
that not
doesn't-
amuse you?
No.
I've been a groomer for almost 20 years. It's
Oh, you know it all.
Yeah.
You've seen it. You've smelled it.
yeah.
Terrible. We're not going to even talk about the anal gland stuff.
Nope.
Let's not do
Right.
that. That's
No.
another
We don't
show.
need to. We don't need
That's
to. With
another
get a ball
show.
python.
That's another show. We're not. Yeah.
Get a ball python. They don't
We-
bark. You don't have to trim their nails. Dogs are great. Snakes
Dogs are
are
great.
quiet.
And they don't size you up while you sleep.
They don't.
No,
say
they
so.
don't. They don't care about you unless you smell like something they want to eat.
True. That's true.
They're
And
very
even
chill.
that, they don't always want to eat you either.
No.
You smell like a rat.
No.
This has been a blast, you guys. I've had a great time. This was a wonderful Saturday.
Do you want a merch shout out real quick before we go?
Oh yeah, we got to do a merch shout out. Angel, you're wearing.
Oh, I'm just
Is
wearing a sweater. Nothing.
No, I know, but I wanted to know if it was one of your Marvel
Oh,
ones.
yeah. I'm just wearing my cap shirt. My cap
See,
sweater.
you still have great sweatshirts, even if they aren't from the snake community. You're gonna have to go first. The dog
Yeah.
is not letting me move.
Oof, almost died. I've got armless angels. I'm going the wrong way. There we go.
Always the back
Yeah,
opposite way that you think. I've got Peace and Pets. Brandon
Nice.
brought my Peace and Pet shirt.
That's a nice shirt. I like that.
It is fun, and it's got a whole QR code on the back too. I
Really?
turn around, but that's too much effort with the dog.
I got a Chris Hernan shirt.
Wonderful,
There you
Chris
go.
Hernan.
Us, at Tinley. He's didn't slap on the back either.
Yeah, he's got a full logo on the back.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. We got a couple of things from him from Tinley and got a nice shirt too.
He is a really nice guy. There's
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
was
great people.
meeting Chris at. I
Southeast.
always want to say Southwest, but it's
It's okay.
Southeast.
Yeah, I'm pretty
We know
sure
what you mean.
we bothered him a lot when he was setting up at Tinley in October.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
He doesn't mind.
he has
He loves
Really?
talking about the snakes.
and really bright orange snakes.
Oh my gosh, that's so
Just
true.
put a lot of work into it, and it shows.
And he was doing like what you were talking about earlier, line breeding. Like, it's done a lot in the hognose community, but definitely can do a lot for ball pythons as well.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, Aishas. Do you guys have any plans for the rest of your day?
It's towards the end of my day because we're over on the East Coast.
Okay, that's right. So you're ahead in time. Don't forget, everybody, spring your clocks forward tonight as much as we all don't want to. We're there again. But it means spring's coming.
It does. It does mean spring is coming. I like the hour of sleep, though. I'm not a morning person.
I like when we fall back and get the extra hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
when I
least it
start
feels
getting, I'm
right.
getting early.
Spring's coming. I'm excited about that. Not excited about the allergies, but that's okay.
No, that's all right.
Got it going. Angel, what are you doing this afternoon? Cooking dinner?
After this, no, I'm off the hook tonight. Yeah, we're just gonna go in and have. She's making dinner, but I'm gonna go in and have dinner, and then after that, we're gonna. I made my son a promise to play. We either gonna play some video games or we're gonna play Battleship. He's been on a big Battleship kick.
Oh yeah.
So,
Nice. Nice.
you know,
That'll
he's
be
good.
great.
He's really good. So we'll see.
That's
What are you
awesome.
guys up to today?
We are going to go pick up Thorn from my parents' house, and we promised him we'd play some games with him tonight. He wants to play The Floor is Lava.
Ooh, that's a fun game.
So we're going to play The Floor is Lava, where you have all these little tiles on the ground that we have to pick up as we go. And then he requested some other game, but now I can't remember. But I know he remembers. So it doesn't matter. It's mind like a bear trap.
Yeah, I think we have to pair a couple snakes, and
Oh, I think
that's
we do.
about it.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Oh,
Tomorrow it starts all over again.
Ah.
Sure does.
I'll be looking forward to seeing in Iraq tomorrow, right?
Yes, Sammy's on tomorrow, and he was a hoot. Got to see all of his pied stuff. tomorrow.
Sammy's always high energy. It's great.
I know he's awesome. Yep. So that'll be on at 9:00. So I always have to do my fingers. 12 Eastern Standard Time. Someday I won't have to count anymore, but it's gonna be years from now. Thank you to everybody in the chat who hung out with us, and thank you, Kate, for hanging out with us, and Angel. This was a great time. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and don't forget to check out Sophisticated Ignorance next. And if you
And
haven't
hit the like
signed up for
button.
Wait, what'd you say, Kate?
Hit the like button, sorry.
Hit the like button. I'm terrible at that part. Hit the like button. What Kate said. If you haven't registered for Epic Live, don't forget to register for Epic.
It's free.
It's free. And
I've
we'll
already
see you
registered.
all soon. Good job,
Thank you.
Kate. It's going to be a blast.
I bet.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
The ups and downs, we stay strong. In your circle, that's where we belong. Lifting each other all day long. In this family, we can't go wrong.